Hey everybody, Ethan here with Standing Stone and Pro Staff for DT Systems. It is time in Hex's training to move into leash work. Now there's quite a few of you, that are probably already interested in how to work through getting your dog to walk properly on leash. There's a couple of things that we look at from a sequence standpoint. Why haven't we started earlier with Hex or shown that earlier? And then what are the prerequisites, I guess essentially, to be able to put a lot of emphasis on leash work. This is different for every person, okay? If you live in town and your main option for exercise is walking on leash, that's something that you're going to need to put emphasis on earlier. But we have to find a balance in training, and that balance is, can he effectively go out and hunt and search? Then we can start to put more emphasis on leash work. We're probably a little bit behind the 8 ball for him. He's been out hunting and doing a good job with that for a while. But the time is now, and at, check me on this, but he's approximately 8 months old. This is a good time that he's mentally ready for a more advanced version of this. As little puppies, and this is something that we did show a video on, or at least we've done a good amount with him, is working on a heeling position. We teach everything with positive reinforcement. So we'll pull focus here. I've got his morning meal. We're just working on getting into this position. Okay, so I'm clicking to mark him in a heeling behavior. He's following food in my hand. This is a lure. And then we can start walking and mark that, okay? This is pretty simple, but it helps him to get in the mindset of, I can move my body into this position and then get rewarded for it. You can see it's easy for him to figure that out. This is going to help down the road of him actually being able to get into the position without help. He's moving his body. This is the key thing here. Good boy. Good boy. We don't want to move ourselves, so if the dog's standing here, we don't want to move over and go, okay, now look at this, now you're heeling. We want him to be able to move his feet. Those are some pretty big swings. We can work on that later, but we want him to be able, there you go, to be able to walk by our side. Now, as we progress through this, this portion of things moves out of the session. Main reason being that we run out of hands, but we use our easy lead to make big progress after this. So we're going to clip the collar here. I'm going to do a quick demo. This looks like a standard leash. We have an oversized O-ring on the clip. That allows us to slide the handle back through that O-ring, and then it turns into a slip lead with a clip on it. Now you may be saying, what is the clip for? This is what attaches to the dog's collar. You are just the sweetest little boy in the whole world. That clip, okay, attaches to the dog's collar so that they can't get away or you can't accidentally lose them. And then what we'll be able to do here is make a figure 8 with the excess of the slip lead, and that goes up over his muzzle. The cool thing is, as we progress through training and he gets really good at not pulling this way, we can slide that off of his muzzle, and now we have a standard slip leash, which is what a lot of people start from a leash side of things, is start with a slip lead to make some corrections. It stays up higher right behind their ears at the kind of where their head meets their neck, and that allows you to make some pop type corrections. And then the last portion would be this handle runs back out of that ring, and again you have a leash. So we're going to show you the beginning stages of this. Now he's already been introduced to this lead, but this is essentially going to give you the ability to stop pulling, okay? This is not teaching him to walk by your side. This is teaching him to stop pulling. And when we have a dog that's no longer pulling, we can develop a better behavior where we can condition, you don't get to pull on our walks anymore. And that is the first step, okay? Once we have a dog that's conditioned to that point where they're doing a really good job not pulling, very minimal corrections happen here, then we can move into utilizing the slip lead and transitioning into collar conditioning. So when we start with this, we're going to get the dog's feet moving, thinking that the Pressure here means to stop. So we encourage movement and then stop. Doing it in little pieces, small steps. We're not going for a big walk. We're not outside. We're not on the sidewalk where there's things to sniff and other people and dogs to interact with. You need to be in a controlled environment. The number one mistake that we see people make is they instantly clip the leash to the dog and say, we're gonna go for a walk. Well, you are from day one conditioning bad behaviors of we pull and sniff and check things out. And where you should be starting this leash work is in a controlled environment, just like you would start with any other obedience behaviors. Sit, hear, heel. You don't go to the dog park first to teach that. You're doing it in your kitchen or your living room or your, and then moving to your backyard and adding distractions along the way. So keep his focus. Hey, come on. Again, pressure means to stop. Otherwise, lots of direction changes. When we want him to stop, we can apply just a very little amount of pressure and we get what we need. No more pulling. Okay, folks, this is Hex. I'm the guy with the pink gun. We will keep you posted on his progress as we progress into the collar conditioning portion. But this is kind of some introductory work to healing. We'll see you in the next video.